Hi, folks. Welcome once again to Mr. H's weekly recap, where we give you a rundown of what's going on in room 1925. Before we get into talking a little bit about our Gov students and our world history students, I just want to throw out some key dates that are going to be coming up here as we get into kind of the home stretch of the school year. First off, for particularly the seniors, makeup work deadline. We have a lot of seniors who are missing some assignments, need to make up some tests or some last minute quizzes. So the very last day, both for the reference of students and parents, just so you know when I'm going to be taking work up to, will be May 26th, which is also May Day. We will not have regular classes that day, but that will also be the absolute last day that I will take work from seniors. So we encourage seniors to submit assignments through the classroom, set up a time flex after school to get in makeup work. And obviously that applies right now exclusively to my senior classes. Juniors, world history guys, we're going to be setting a date for you guys in the coming weeks here, which is a little bit later because obviously your year goes a little bit into June. So stay tuned for that. Next weekend, May 12th and 13th, our national history guys are going to be heading to Carlisle High School to compete for a possibility of going on to the national competition at the University of Maryland. So wish luck, particularly to Ryan Minnick, our local rep who's going to be there kind of representing E-Town. So if you happen to see him, wish him well. And then May 16th through 19th, which is about 2 weeks away, we have Keystone testing. So I'll be sending out a schedule particularly for that for students. So look for that, and obviously we will have a little bit of a messed up schedule to accommodate the testing periods. All right, let's start talking a little bit about our government classes. First block and third block are kind of at different spots, but right now we're in a discussion of the judicial branch, kind of wrapping up the unit. Next week we have our examination. So for first block, that might look a little different than third block. Third block has pretty much done the unit. First block, we got a little ways to go. So we might have to adjust either the test or the date itself. So I'll get back to you guys with more info on that. But right now, that's kind of where we are, talking a little bit about the Supreme Court, the selection of Supreme Court justices, powers of the Supreme Court, and then digging into the federal courts, the state courts, maybe do a little bit of military courts as well, and then talk a little bit about some of the criticisms of the judicial branch. We had students recently turn in their judicial research projects, which kind of looked at issues or areas of reform within the judicial branch. And we're in the process of getting those grades up for you guys, kind of taking a look at those projects that were created through the Atavist site, which is a free publishing site that incorporates both writing but also multimedia presentations as well. So that's been kind of a cool feature to see the students create and play around with. And then next Monday, we're going to be having the first of a series of fishbowl debates, that is, where students are going to be looking at some key issues as we get into our last unit, which is constitutional law and criminal justice. So the topic for that fishbowl on Monday is going to be a look at, jury trials. Are they still effective in the 21st century? There's some pieces of evidence we gave the students and we asked them to look over and kind of build their argument around. So look on Google Classroom for a checklist of sorts, kind of let the students know what I'm going to be looking for in that debate and what they should specifically prepare for in preparation for that debate on Monday. They already have the evidence, but they have to kind of develop what their argument is going to be based on that evidence. For the world history guys, we're in the midst of wrapping up our final week of fantasy geopolitics, at least as far as the regular season goes. We had our all-star presentation where we recognized some of the countries who kind of, by the popularity of the class, did really well. And we also named our manager of the year. So congratulations to all those all-stars and our manager of the year, Noah Myers, who got the honor after being nominated by his peers. So that was kind of cool. We'll continue on with kind of where we are in the unit. We're in the process of wrapping up Unit 3, so talking a lot about industrialization. Imperialism has been a topic we've been looking at, and today we're finishing up the unit looking a little bit at some of the countries that are going to become really focal points moving into the 20th century. So we've been talking a lot about Otto von Bismarck and the rise of modern Germany, and then we'll also be talking a little bit about kind of Imperial Japan, the Meiji Restoration and Revolt, and sort of what all encompass those events that kind of put us on this path into the early 20th century. And then it's going to basically be a mad dash to try to get as close to the present as possible. Right now it looks like we'll get there, but we'll see kind of what the days bring us. Students recently turned in their latest DBQ, so we're in the process of looking at that and getting those back to students as quickly as we can so that we can talk a little bit about our DBQ writing moving forward and what that means for students maybe thinking about taking an AP class. And book reviews. Book reviews are due on the 19th. This has been a semester project, encouraging students to pick a book from our book list, write a little write-up on it, relate it back to the class. We have a number of students who have not selected a book, so that's a little discouraging, but obviously we want to try to get everything in on the 19th, and we'll have stuff set up on Google Classroom for that. And then, like I said, it's going to be kind of a mad dash towards finals. So look for that. A lot going on still. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and we'll get back to you guys as soon as we can. Oh, by the way, we forgot to mention midterm is Friday, so progress reports will be going out. We'll try to have everything updated on the portal. We hope to see you guys again next week as well.